In this lecture, we are going to do a deep dive into the algorithm concept. The earliest evidence of algorithms is found in the mathematics of ancient Mesopotamia. The oldest algorithm that was found was in 2500 before Christ. So this has nothing to do with the IT, all right? The mathematicians invented it and used it before the IT developers use it. Sorry. So the first thing you have to understand is an algorithm is a way to solve a problem. This is not IT. This is a way of thinking. Each time you are going to do an algorithm, you are going to tell yourself, what are the steps I need to do to solve this problem? Okay? For example, when you want to drive to somewhere, you're going to pick your car, and your brain, even if you're not realizing it, is doing some algorithms. Okay? First, your brain is saying, getting the key, trying to get the key in the pocket, trying to open the door. If the door is open, jump into the car. If I'm in front of my steering wheel, trying to start the engine, and so on, etc. This is an algorithm. Okay, this has nothing to do with Java. So in the left part of this slide, I'm showing you the algorithm of our last exercise we did together, the calculator exercise. In the middle part of this slide, I'm showing you the source code we decided to provide to solve this algorithm, to be connected to this algorithm. On the right part, we are seeing, I would say, kind of old school way to do things is to show the variables and their value at each step of the program. This is pretty much something obsolete, but deprecated, but because now people are using debugger instead, and we will see it in the next lecture, sorry. But anyway, this is still a good way to learn your first to do your first algorithms. Okay, so as I told you, before jumping into your Java code and jumping into your source code, you have to take a deep breath and ask yourself, what are the steps to solve this problem? You don't even have to be in front of your keyboard to think about this. Take a piece of paper and take a pencil and write the algorithm. Ask yourself, what are the steps? What is the first step? What was the first step with our calculator? The first step was to do an output asking the user to enter number 1. The second step was an input, get the user input. The third step was an output again asking the user to enter number 2. The fourth step was an input, get the user input. The fifth step was to compute and to do an addition with number 1 plus number 2. And the last step was to show an output showing the result of the addition. Okay, this is absolutely not Java. This is an algorithm, and from now we could do this exercise in Java, in Python, in PHP, in C++, sorry, for instance. So algorithm has no connection at all with any programming language. I think this is really clear in your mind. Okay, now we can jump into our source code and try to write our source code step by step. We are instancing an object of type scanner to be able to collect users' inputs. Doing the output, give me the first number to add, please. The second step is solved this way, collecting the number 1 provided by the user, so collecting the input, the first input. The third step was to ask the user to enter number 2. So we are doing a println one more time. Give me the second number to add, please. The next step is one more time to collect an input from the user to get number 2. So this way I'm initializing my variable number 2. The fifth step is to declare and initialize our third variable, result. And by the way, I'm doing the addition number 1 plus number 2. And the last step is, one more time, a println saying the result is plus result. Okay. On the right part of this slide, you can notice the values of all my variables step by step. At this step, the first step, I don't have any variable, as you can see. On the second step, I'm having my first variable. I choose to write 5 for this exercise, for this example. Anyway, you could write whatever you want. The first step, I'm still having only one variable, which is still number 1, and we have still 5 in it. On the fourth step, we are having a new variable of type int called number 2 with 5 inside it also. In the fifth step, we are having a third variable called result with 10 inside it. And nothing changed for the last step. All my 3 variables remains the same with the same values. Okay, so one more time before we go to the next lecture, I really want you to make sure this is clear in your mind before trying to do your source code. Make sure you did the algorithm in your mind. You can do it only by speaking this way. Output ask the user to enter number 1, and then input get the user input. If you're not feeling comfortable this way, don't be frightened to write it on a paper or a PowerPoint like I'm doing it right now, sorry. So, and it is really only when your algorithm is clean, is done, that you will start trying to code the source code. Not the reverse. Don't start coding before you have a clear idea of what is the algorithm. Okay? I think this is clear, and I will catch you in the next lecture.